Om Shanti. Today in the Murli, Baba says, sweet children, the one whom you have been praising up to today is now in front of you. And you should therefore constantly dance in happiness and not experience sorrow about anything. Are you in that stage where you constantly dance in happiness and not experience sorrow about anything? So, is Baba not telling the truth? Yes, so Baba says you should, right? So Baba says you should therefore constantly dance in happiness and not experience sorrow about anything. Why? Because the one whom you have been praising up to today is now in front of you. Yes, and so now you have God with you. So God has been upheld as the highest one, the highest attainment, and now we have God with us. And still, if there is no constant happiness, why is it so? Yes, so one thing we have to understand is happiness is also a sanskar, right? The original quality of the soul, the original sanskar of the soul. And sorrow is a sanskar we have created in our journey, right? So we are not happy or unhappy because of the world around us. For so many births, we have created these thoughts, I'm not happy, or created these feelings of sorrow that now, even when we have Baba, we need to train ourselves to be constantly happy. Yes, so have you ever, during the day, during this life, we attain many things that we want to. Yes, and when we attain that, we feel happy for some time. But then we move our attention to other things and then we lose that happiness. So this is a pattern. And the second thing is, you take for granted whatever you have. So once you get something, okay, now that is there. So how long will I appreciate it? Let me move to the next. To something that I don't have and I want. So that's how we've been living life. Now Baba says, just cherish this moment. Just cherish this age, this conference age, where you have God as your parent, teacher, and guide. Yes, and we need a moment to sit and reflect on this. And we need to do it repeatedly. So we need to sit in silence and think about this auspicious conference age where we have God as my parent, teacher, and guide. Yes, and Baba says that now the omens of Jupiter are on you. And today's song is You Are the Mother, the Father. So, in Bhakti we sing, Tum Mat Pita, Hum Balak Tere. So, you are my parent and I am your child. And Baba says, now practically you are the children of God. And what does practically children of God mean? So you have a right to the inheritance of Satyug. So just like a parent gives you what he has as property, as legacy, so Baba is giving us the inheritance of Satyug. So just think about a child whose parents are very rich and they are worrying about money. Yes, so you will say that they are worried about money and there is some problem with the child because the parents are filthy rich. But Baba says similar is our situation. So we have the right to inheritance of Satyug, and still if we are not staying in that intoxication of who my parent is, then that's a problem with our sanskar. So we need to understand that Baba has practically become my parent, teacher and guide, and there is no bigger happiness than this. Yes, and if you think that there is something in this world, of this world, out of this world, which you can get and become happier, then that's an illusion, because there is no bigger attainment than this, that Baba is giving you the inheritance of Satyug, and Baba has become our teacher and he is teaching us everything that there is to know. So do you understand that you don't have any questions that have been left unanswered? So do you have any question which is not answered until yet? You are the only people on earth who can say this. Do you know this? You have the answer to every question. You understand everything. Why, what is what. Yes, and you know, you can point out every feeling you are experiencing, everything that you're going through, and you know why that's how it is. Yes, now we are in that place where we are learning from the Supreme Teacher. There is nothing left to be known and understood. There is nothing left to be learned. And then Baba says, I am your Satguru. I am giving you the blessings which can guide you to that world of peace and happiness. So Baba says, just take your time and reflect on who you've got. And if still you're not happy, then you can never be happy. So Baba says, you should experience constant happiness. And nothing in the world should be able to bring you into a state of sorrow, because, you know, anything happens. So you are still a soul and you are still Baba's child and you still have what you have with Baba being with you. So there is no reason to be upset, yes, about anything, because you are still the child of Baba. Baba is still your teacher. So there is no loss which can take away this happiness. So one has to really think about these things, and this is why we need reflection time. And this is why going deep inside and sitting and reflecting on the truth of Sangam Yoga is very important. Yes. So this is something that Baba says. And then Baba says today that the effort making children will check whether there is still any large or small thorn inside us. Yes, so we all say that we want to go to Satyug. Yes, we are studying to become a deity. Are you studying to become a deity? Yes. Are you studying to become a deity or no? Or are you just studying to become a little peaceful, a little happy? So, you know, there are, so I remember this one sister, and she came to the center, and I told her, so she said, what do you do here? So I said, we teach how to become a deity. So God has come and He's teaching how to become a deity. So she said, oh, I don't want to become a deity. I just want to be a little peaceful. So, so sometimes you go to a school and then you say that you might be making the best engineers, but I just want to learn a little physics or a little something, and I don't want to become what you make. So Baba says, do you want to become a deity? So Baba has come and he's giving you the opportunity to become a deity, and it would be very, very naive if we said we don't want to become a deity. So, so you say yes. When Baba says that I make you a deity, you say yes. That's the natural thing to do. Yes. So Baba says, now that you are here and you have the opportunity to become a deity, then you have to check whether there is something in you which can stop you from becoming that. Yes, so if you wake up at 6 a.m., you don't become a deity. Yes, so deities, so even animals have the sense of when to wake up, even in Kali Yuga. So you humans have forgotten when to wake up, but animals have this sense of when to wake up. So the animals are not late in waking up, but we are. So Baba says, in Satyug, everything is in order. So humans are more intelligent than animals. So at least they have the sense that animals have. So do you know that Baba gives us a lot of analogies to understand intelligence, in the true sense, how the buddhi works, and he gives us examples of animals. He says that you should be able to, just like the turtle, you should be able to go inside, withdraw. So Baba says a turtle has this basic sense, once he's done with eating and filled his stomach, he goes inside. And we humans, what do? So, so the most interesting thing is, so this thing somebody told yesterday to me, and that was very interesting. He said, when I'm very, very tired, I switch on my smartphone and I watch something. So I said, when you're very tired, you shouldn't tire yourself more. But this is how we are operating. So we watch more violence, more lustful scenes, more anger, more scenes of attachment and expectation, and we watch all this stuff and burden ourselves when we are very, very tired. That's the sense and sensibility we have got. So when you're very tired, you unload, you don't load yourself more. Yes, and a turtle has that sense, but sadly, humans don't. So Baba says that we need to understand that in Satyug, we are more intelligent than the animal kingdom. And so we do things better than them. So Baba says, you have to check what is it in you that can stop you from going to Satyug. And today Baba talks about lust and anger. And Baba says, nobody in Satyug has anger. So you don't get angry in Satyug. So check whether you have anger here. Do you have anger here? Yes, so so all those who have anger here can't go to Satyug, because in Satyug there is no anger. Yes, and let me also here again revise that anger doesn't, you don't get angry because of anything, you get angry because of your sanskar of anger. Yes, there is, anger is a sanskar, it's how you have trained yourself to respond. Because two people in the same situation don't respond in the same way. Yes, and I have seen when I came to the yajna, I saw how you can respond sweetly to everything in action. So, I practically saw in the most trying of circumstances, in the most difficult of behaviors, I saw my seniors responding sweetly, and that was amazing. And that is what attracted me very much to the yajna, because you can respond sweetly to everything, is what I saw in action here. And there is no need for anger, there is no place for anger. So you can be peaceful and still respond to everything. And I always say this, and today also I will point this out: no reaction does not mean no action. So you can act, you can respond, and there is no need for anger in that response. So Baba says, you have to understand that you have the aim to become a deity, and you cannot have the habits which are not there in Satyug. So check if there is any trace of anger and just remove it. And how do you remove it? So by bringing sweetness and knowledgeful response to that situation. So think before you think. So whatever is your instinctive response, just do away with it and reflect on it, and before responding, choose a response which is in consonance with the study you are studying. So just respond very consciously rather than going by your instinctive responses. And again, instinctive responses is a wrong word to use, because they are not instinctive, they are habitual. Yes, so they are habits which we have created. They are not natural, they are habitual. So come to your natural response, choose your natural response instead of a habitual response. And doing everything consciously is something that we have to train ourselves into. So, this today Baba talks about this very interesting thing also, that the world will start talking about your slogans. Yes, and I'll read that out to you. It's very beautiful. Baba says, you can now see that slowly and slowly, everyone will continue to call out. All your slogans will emerge. For instance, some people say there should be one religion, one kingdom, and one language. It is souls that say this. The soul knows that there truly was one kingdom of deities in Bharat. This fragrance will continue to spread. You continue to spread this fragrance. According to the drama plan, the signs of war are also just in front of you. So Baba came around 1936, and from that time onwards, what I have noticed is there is a convergence between what Baba is saying and what drama is saying. Yes, so earlier what Baba was saying and what was there in and around you was very different from each other. But now Baba and drama are coming to convergence. And one aspect of it is this living consciously. So, in Delhi, if you are going by your car and if your mask just comes under your nose, and then you tell the policeman that, it came off by chance, they will say, you still have to pay the fine, and next time you be careful that it doesn't come down by chance. And they'll take 2,000 rupees from you. So, this is a time when you can't say that I was unaware. You can't say that this happened just like that. So, in every aspect of your life, where you're standing, with whom you're talking, what is the distance, or what are you wearing, or whether you are taking care of your health and hygiene, all of this has become very natural now. Yes, so Baba says that this is the time when you need to understand that even in your inner world, when it comes to your thoughts, when it comes to your drishti, when it comes to your remembrance, when it comes to your attitude, you can't be slack. You can't say that, oh, I was not aware. So Baba says, you have to pay very good attention to what are the thoughts you're thinking, what is the feeling, or what is the attitude you're creating in the face of a situation, and check whether there is lust, there is anger in that. And Baba says, if there is, change it. And in that moment, change it, and then understand what you need to accumulate to be in a better position to change it faster next time. So fill your inner world with enough purity, enough peace, enough sweetness from Baba, so that you are able to make your responses more peaceful, sweeter, purer. And Baba says this is something that you need to check if you intend to be a deity. So this is something that Baba says today. And Baba uses the word donation because this is something that you are doing willingly. So you're willing to donate your vices. And Baba says, I'm not snatching anything away from you. You're giving it up because you understand that by donating the vices, you will get the kingdom in return. So it's a business. Yes, so, and you know that a good businessman is a very, so a good businessman understands that he has to invest to get the return. So anybody who doesn't have the courage to invest can't be a good businessman. So Baba says, you understand that by giving up what Baba tells you to give up, you will get what Baba is giving you. So don't cause yourself loss in this business. Yes, so don't be afraid to invest in this business. So do you have the heart to invest in the expectation of a return? So, sometimes children will say that we have to give up vices today, and then we don't know whether we will get the kingdom tomorrow or not, right? But then this is the story of every businessman. You invest today, you get the return tomorrow. And if every businessman thought like you do, then there would be no growth in the world, because first comes investment and then comes return. So Baba says you have to be a good businessman, and this is the imperishable business, because Baba says what you get out of this business is not going to finish when you leave the body. So every other income that you are earning will be over when you leave the body, but this income will continue to be with you. So pay very good attention to this business and don't cause yourself a loss. And Baba says, every person, even a woodcutter, has the sensibility to cut and fetch more wood. So we should have this much of sensibility to invest more of our vices, give up more of our vices, and in exchange for that, take virtues. Now the thing is, when you give up vices, you have to take virtues. Now, when you don't get angry in a situation, you have to be sweet and peaceful, right? What is the third option? So there is no third option. When you give up vices, you have to take virtues. So this is the business you have to keep doing constantly, right? And there is, so when somebody tells you that I didn't have any thought in this situation, or I didn't create any feeling, that's not possible, because the mind is thinking and creating feelings. So if you want to substitute your anger and lust, you have to create pure thoughts, soul conscious thoughts, and peaceful thoughts, sweet feelings about this person in front. So that's how it goes. And then Baba in the Murli today talks about the importance of Murli. And Baba says, Murli is the foundation. So, Murli is the foundation, and when I came into Gyan, I used to be very impressed with the classes. I was not very attracted to the Murli, but I was very impressed with the classes that I heard from seniors and others. And then slowly, gradually, whatever I heard in the classes and what impressed me very much, I figured that out, that it came from the Murli. So someday I came across some Murli and I saw that this is written in the Murli. And then when that sister was explaining it, it was so beautiful. But it's coming from here. And then I was reminded of this story, where there is this beggar and he goes to a king and he begs there every day. And then and the king is generous enough. He gives whatever alms the beggar is seeking. And then one day this beggar has this thought that why don't I trace where this king gets everything from? So he starts following the king. And then he sees that the king goes to a temple and he sits before this figure, this murti, this idol, and then the king begs there. So he says, God, give me. And then this beggar figures out that the king is begging from God. So why don't I beg from God directly? So why should I beg from the king, and the king is begging from God? So why don't I go and beg from God directly? And from the next day he starts doing that. It's a funny story, but Baba says that everything, every knowledge, every scripture, everything that is wise and necessary in this world, every virtue, every power, everything has its source in Murli. So Murli is the mind of God, and God delivers everything through the Murli. And Baba says, once you realize the importance of Murli, you will pay attention to the Murli. And when you pay attention to the Murli, you will get everything that you ever need or ever want from the Murli. And Baba says, one should always pay very good attention to the Murli, and every child should be so thorough with the Murli that you understand what Baba wants to tell you for your growth and upliftment, and you are able to give something, donate something to souls who are seeking and needy from the Murli. So Baba says every child should have very good command over the Murli. And I would urge you to every day go through the Murli very diligently and jot down as many points as you can. So, just go through the Murli with an open heart, open mind, great interest and attention. And then you should, after closing the Murli, you should try to remember all the points you can remember and make a full note. And this is something that every child should do. And Baba says, it's not small, it's not ordinary that we have a right to the treasure called Murli. And Baba says we should pay a lot of attention to studying the Murli properly every day. So this is something. And then today Baba talks about the power to tolerate. And in the blessing, I will read out the blessing for you. It's very beautiful. Baba says, those who have the virtue of tolerance are always seen to be content. Those who are embodiments of contentment also make others content. To be content means to achieve success. Those who are tolerant make harsh sanskars and difficult tasks gentle and easy with their power of tolerance. Their faces are seen as embodiments of virtues. Only they can stay using the shield of the drama. Now, when we undertake the course, Baba talks about and teaches about this power to tolerate. Yes? And every soul in its original design has this power to tolerate. But because we have not used it, we have lost it. Yes, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we have lost it because we have not used it enough. Now, how do you gain this power to tolerate? By using it. Yes, so whenever, so there are many things that come up during the day. So, there is fame, defamation, loss, gain, there is success, failure, there is heat and cold. So the weather changes, the behaviors change, the circumstances change. And then in the face of all those things, what is the language you speak to yourself? Do you tell yourself, oh, this is bad, I can't tolerate it? Or do you say, I am the child of the ocean of the power of tolerance. I can tolerate anything that comes my way. So you start with small situations and then slowly move to bigger ones. And this is how you start training your muscle of tolerance. So just like you train your physical muscles, you keep stretching them until they become powerful, right? Similarly, you keep applying this power of tolerance and you apply it enough so that it starts activating inside you. So until you tolerate, until you plan to tolerate, so in bhakti for 63 births, we have moved with this idea that we don't need to tolerate. We need to call out to Baba and God will make everything all right. So we've been begging and waiting. We have never spoken this language to ourselves that it's okay and nothing is more powerful than me. Nothing is powerful enough to destabilize me. So we have always said, when we talk to each other also, the language we speak is, everything will be okay on the external. So, somebody says, I'm unwell, I have pain in the body. You don't say you have enough power of tolerance and you will deal with it. You say you will be okay. So we have moved with this idea of changing the external for so long that we have not used our power of tolerance. But now we want to shift to this place where we understand that this is Kali Yuga and this is the last scene of Kali Yuga, and things are not going to be okay. The body is not going to be healthy all the time. The relationships, the behaviors are not going to be okay all the time, and that's okay. And we have enough power of tolerance to deal with everything that comes our way. So just plant this seed of the power of tolerance inside you. And Baba says, when you develop this power of tolerance, you will be contented come what may, because contentment and discontentment are directly proportional to your power of tolerance. So if you think that contentment is an aspect of things and behaviors being your way, they are not going to be. So contentment is directly proportional to your power of tolerance. So as much as you can tolerate, whatever is up and down around you, you will stay content. And when you have this power of tolerance, then the sanskars that are emerging inside you, so whenever there is a situation or a behavior, it triggers some sanskar inside you, and you will be able to deal with that sanskar with this power of tolerance. And then Baba says, if you are always contented, you will make others content also. So when people see somebody being very contented and stable in the face of ups and downs, then they learn from you. So this is the blessing today, very beautiful blessing. And then the slogan today is, those who cannot be transformed with words can be transformed with pure vibrations. And you see, just like you want a seed to sprout into what is contained inside of it, you give it the right atmosphere. Yes? So Gyan says that every soul is pure, peaceful, knowledgeful, loveful, right? And if you give it the right atmosphere, then it will flower into itself. So every soul will get in touch with his nature of peace and purity and knowledge and happiness if you just provide the right atmosphere. And the right atmosphere is not provided when you keep pointing out their mistakes and their deficiencies. So the right atmosphere is provided when you create the right vibrations. Now, as much as this slogan is true, yes, so this slogan is 100% true, because if you really give the right vibrations, then the transformation will take place. But the challenge is to create that vibration. Yes, so words are easy to speak, but staying in your right vibration, come what may, that's the challenge we have to take up. And it's very easy to complain about children and about elders and about colleagues and about family members and how they need to change. But today Baba has given us a formula, and let us check for ourselves whether we really do the needful for them to change. Okay, so this is the needful you need to do. The needful is creating the right vibration, which gives them the ambience to change. And do we do the needful for them to change is for us to see. So for very long, we have complained and expected them to change. Now we have the formula. So let's check ourselves whether we are really interested in transforming them. And if we are, we will do the needful. That is, create the atmosphere and the vibration which will allow their original qualities to flourish. Om Shanti.